In 2010, Blackpool, the Orangers, did the incredible by reaching the Premier League. Unfortunately for me, though, it was under a manager I didn't like for this, then this, then this.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
Anyways, back to Blackpool. Nowadays, they horrifically sit all the way down in the 3rd tier. Mismanagement at the top unfortunately put them in the 4th, but now they're back in the 3rd. Not doing too well there. But now, after getting ex-Prem manager Steve Bruce, I'm going to see if he can take them to the top. As yes, people, I'm very excited about this. Steve Bruce as manager, and I know what you guys are thinking. That doesn't look like Steve Bruce. I know, he's not in the game, he's not in any mods. I miss you, Stevie Brucey. Anyway, today's aims are simple, the easy objective. Get into the Premier League and don't get straight relegated. With the medium one being to do it with 2 youth players, which is going to actually be hard, but that's only our medium objective. As here is the hard one, win the Champions League with 190 overall player. I think we can do that challenge. But also, keep your eye out for a locked challenge. It will be revealed in this rebuild, and that is an interesting one. As speaking of interesting, this team is I think it's different to real life, but we are at the end of FC24. In real life, best player Karamoko Dembele has actually left the club, but he's on loan, so we can probably just release him from it. Does cost us a bit. And Ekpiteta has left the club in real life. Dan Grimshaw has. I believe he's gone to Plymouth. Joining Wazaruni, and then this guy I want to use, Rob Apter. At Tranmere, he was very good in League 2, so I will give him a shot. There's only 4 million to spend, but we've got a lot of players to sell and an academy to start. Come on, Patrick Marsh, please work your magic. And has he? Well, we do have a few players. Skinner can be loaned, Bobby Hutton can be loaned, but no one's going the first team. I was hoping for someone 60 overall. Added them both to a very long loan list. I'm going to get a lot of players out on loan. And then, of course, we've got a few to sell. As let's get selling here. First is Marvin Ekpiteta, who has gone to San Jose Earthquakes for a fee of 1 million. Then we've got Matty Virtue, weirdly going to Shanghai, but it can get weirder. Oh boy, can it get weirder. We've got Shane Lavery to Sampdoria, up to 7 million now, and our youth players are out on loan. One has gone to Stockport, and one has gone to Crewe. As speaking of a Crewe, we're going to sign one of Steve Bruce's, Paul Dummett, who has just been released from Newcastle. The man spent 14 years with his boyhood club, but reunites with Steve Bruce as he joins him at Blackpool. Building a veteran team, as another veteran to add to that list is Ben Hamer of Watford. Yes, he's 35 years old, but experienced, and when Austin Skinner comes back, hopefully he takes a #1 spot and becomes a youth player in our first team. As he's through the door, but do not think we're finished there, as I've been very stingy with money because Luis Vazquez caught my eye straight away, and with a 5 million release clause, and with that decent wage, I mean, let's have some fun here. Steve Bruce at Blackpool, bringing in an Argentinian. As this is how we line up, a good mix of youth and then experience at the back, which hopefully carries on up the league. And how's it gone for Brucey boy? We're going to check in a minute as the team. You can see them experience heads going down. In Hamer, of course, the goalkeeper, but we're hoping we have a good youth player as a good youth player up front. Vasquez up to a 72. You do love to see it, but what I'd love to see from you guys is if you hit the subscribe button and like, it greatly is appreciated. On the race to 50k, and also if you want a t-shirt like the one I'm wearing, Soccer Deal Shop linked below. They've got cheap and affordable replica kits. As how have our youth players done in other kits for other clubs? Bobby Hutton at a 60, I would have hoped for a little bit more. Skinner to a 62, that's okay, maybe not championship quality if if we are in the championship, as Apter, a 67. But Kyle Joseph, I was very torn between using him and loaning him. Seems like loaning him to Granada was the right option. But for now at the club anyway, Luis Vasquez was the best option, getting 21 goals. That's a lot in League One, you know. As it turns out, it was enough, because we finished top of the table. Even Birmingham struggling. Rotherham and Wrexham. Steve Brucey's magic, and he's worked wonders with Blackpool here. A first season promotion and a trophy to go with it. Will it be the only one? Because we don't go through in the FA Cup. Don't go through in the Carabao. But hey, do get another one. The BSM is won, so get in there, Steve Bruce, doing a little cheeky double. Another trophy in the cabinet. This team's been deadly, with no tactics, a horrible shape, which we will change heading to the championship. As now then, we need to do well in this league, although if we do get promoted, we're kind of failing our challenge. If you remember the medium objective, we've got to do it with 2 youth players, so to get the youth in the team, we're going to have to play Steve Bruce's formation. So we are going to go to a 4-2-3-1 with him on the side. The only problem is Joseph, who doesn't fit in our lineup. But this actually is the formation, according to Transfermarkt, that Steve Bruce plays. So we are going to stick with this, and also dumb it, left after a year. But hey, 10 million is more than ideal for us, so let's go and get ourselves a cam and get ourselves another defender. As for cam, I'm going this guy, Filip Krastev. I've kind of come to the conclusion, don't want to get promoted this season. I'll let the youth grow and of course put a bit of money into the academy, so we go in cheap right here, but he's a good Bulgarian playmaker. Very excited to use him, but of course more excited for Marsha's report. As any stars in here, well, Bradley Dyer looks decent. Also Carter Fletcher, I mean, he could be our backup cam, but we actually have a good one at the club who I haven't even touched on yet. Sonny Carey, through the academy and only 23 years of age. He's going to be a decent player. And of course, backup Krastev. As that team looks alright, but I am thinking a new keeper. And defender, of course, we've still got to go for maybe a new winger as well. As I've managed to get a lot of young players, loan moves, and Hutton going to Sutton. Come on, that is pretty funny. But you know what's not funny? Stalling on signings. We've got Marcel Beefus, who's sitting in the Bundesliga 2, as he makes the change from that division to the 2nd English division. But we're not done there with our scouting, because we found Justin Hamel, a classy looking keeper, which I'm a little bit unsure about. Not because he's bad, it's because we've spent all our money up, and he is of course a goalkeeper where a youth player is. Look at that, man. He's 68 rated. He's actually done well, but to be fair, a few of them have. We've got Hutton going up 7 to a 68 rating, then Dyer at a 65, and Fletcher at a 64. A good year for our youth, and not a good year for our left-hand side. Still, I see on the bench, Sonny Carey, I changed the position of. Just felt like we didn't have that left-hand side of play now, and he can go right there, making the team look better. We know what positions we need, and we have finished in a decent position. I mean, looking at that on the whole, we did worse than we did better. 15th in the championship, though, and look at that FA Cup final. Norwich City and Crawley. Are you having a joke? We lost first round to Doncaster 2-0, and then we lose in round 1 of the Carabao to Newport 1-0. At home, that's quite disappointing, but hey, our goalkeeper dilemma, right? We've got Hamel, 72 rated, our 2nd highest in the squad. Behind Vasquez, so of course, one of them has to go, as Vasquez scoring 15 goals, Joseph with 13. Sorted on strikers, and also sorted on a cam in Krastev, but we've got to sort out our goalkeeping dilemma. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that budget just gets bigger, but not to worry anyway. I have a plan, and that is to send out Patrick Marsh another time if he finds a freak goalkeeper, a Jude Bellingham of goalkeepers. He can fly ahead of everyone, but we don't actually find one. But we may have the normal Bellingham in Arlo Bullock, the centre mid. It is a position we need. As you can see, Hutton goes in the lineup, but we do need another youth player. So I am sorry to Hamel, because I think it's time to go. And Skinner goes straight into that lineup, leaving us only needing a left back and a left centre mid. Cheers for the memories, Hamill, but it is time to go. He's going to Luton for £3.5 million. He likes playing in orange, as now £12 million. Let's build up Blackpool to be a Premier League team. Luton take from us, and now we take from Luton a left-footed centre mid in Isaac Bergman Johansson. Great signing, this one. I was scouting him before he was at Luton. Same as this man, Ivan Gariel, the left back. Thought it'd be kind of funny to have Gariel on the left and then Gabriel on the right, who is our new club captain. And has that new role for him? Well, picked up in the league. It definitely has, finishing in the playoffs. But as you can see, bottom half of them, and 10 points off West Brom, who we did play, probably in the first one, and that goal difference. They scored 25 more goals than us, or at a 25-point gap, whatever it is. I don't care, as I do care about the cups, but we still can't get bloody through them. Losing to Millwall, then losing to Wigan. But in the playoff semi-finals, we beat West Brom. Get in there, Seasiders, Oranges, Tangerines, as we win at Wembley. Coventry are the bottle jobs. Steve Bruce will take Blackpool to the Premier League. Only 3 years in real life. 3 years for you fans. These are the lads that did it. You can see Johansson, what a signing, 79 rated, now joint with Vasquez. Also got our youth in here in Hutton on the left hand side, then Skinner in the goal. They are only 73 and 74 rated, as our captain's done well. To be fair, every single one's done well, but Vasquez, probably the best. 32 goals, then Hutton with 17, then Johansson from a deep position, 22 goal contributions. Lovely bloody jubbly, and you can see the bench is growing nicely. Just need a backup keeper and a backup centre-back and centre mid. Norburn, the old captain, not doing too well. That bloody alarm again. That means a new challenge. As when Blackpool reached the Premier League, Charlie Adam was a big player, with the Scotsman scoring free kicks and just being an all-round playmaker. So in this challenge from now on, we need to sign in this window a Scottish centre mid, and he must be here in the Champions League final. And with 60 million bang on, we definitely can get that man, so no excuses here. We have to complete this challenge. As in real life, there's 2 Scotsmen that have just signed for Napoli, and we are going to take one of them, Billy Gilmore, here at Brighton. Now, I don't want to pay his release clause, so 17 million bang on is enough to put wee Billy here in tangerine colours. Go straight into the team, and he's actually playing internationally for Scotland, as our defence looks weak. But I'm going to strengthen attack again. With him being a free agent and one of Steve Bruce's old friends, Miguel Almiron, he can definitely play in that cam position. Welcome, Miggy mate. You do fit orange as well as Gilmore. And look at that. Making him a cam takes him up in rating. But don't think we're done there, because we've got 36 million. Miguel Almiron was a free. So now we go back to the defence, bringing in Samuel Dahl, a quality Swede left back, Harry Darling for some defensive cover on our centre-backs, and Mads Christiansen, the goalkeeper from Lillestrøm, to hopefully give us maybe a decent cup run. And I don't know about you guys, but this team to me just screams 2012 prime Barclays. Gilmore rocking the midfield, Johansson doing the same, then full 80s cams, and an 85 Vasquez, who got 15 Premier League goals in his first year, mind you, and Hutton with 13, then Almiron with 12. Great assists from Johansson as well, but of course it's not just about this. Our easy objective was to avoid first season relegation. And that is what Steve Bruce goes ahead and does, just like he did at Newcastle a few times, 14th in the Premier League. But any cup runs, of course, no, not in the FA Cup. And not in the Carabao, which bloody Southampton won. Any big results in the league though? The final month we beat Arsenal, and in the December period, a big win against Liverpool. Quite a local game, but we all know about the Premier League. The budget does go down second year, and we have got all contracts paid off, but to improve this team as it is, we need a right back, and I hate to say it, but maybe a new keeper. Skinner has been decent, but hey, a big bid here for our left back Samuel Dahl, the Swedish player we signed last year. I'm not a big lover of selling players when of course you're trying to win the top trophies, but 48 million agreed upon. That is brilliant. Receive the offer on the 2nd, get him out by the 7th. That is class business from Blackpool, who have more money, as now 79 million, which is more than we had last year. But to be fair, I have just thought we need to replace Almiron. He's getting too old and probably a bit lethargic, so Jesper Lindstrom on loan at Everton in real life, and he's back from his stint at Stuttgart to come to the west of England, signing for Blackpool on a whopping 25 million. And we can't leave him in the squad without a Danish friend. We've got Victor Christiansen arriving from Championship Wolves. Big chunk of budget down now to 35 million, but that goalkeeper needs to arrive, and I want to go big. Lawrence Gabriel, a very lucky captain, because we're not signing a right back with all the money on Kovar. Lucky, lucky boy, your experience has bought you time, because this team around him is amazing. Got some catching up to do as we are flying in the league, and to be fair, he is in the team in an 8th place finish. Glorious. Speaking of glory, none of that for Arsenal United, as top of the Premier League, Leicester City. I mean, they have done it before, but I did not expect to see them again. Congratulations to Leicester, and of course the manager Stevie Cooper. They've got their glory, and I want ours. A quarter-final defeat to Bournemouth in the FA Cup, and then in the Carabao, oh my days, the semi-finals, hammered by the Hammers, and I hate to see that. As if you are a fan of West Ham, there is a series linked below on the second channel using them, as this team is usable. Lawrence has to go, but everyone else is progressing, and Christiansen 84, he's come a long way since the Euros. Getting slipped past by Kyle Walker. Even Cucurella could get past him, as Vasquez top scorer, 26 now. Hutton doing well, Rob Apter doing well, but our highest rated at the club now is Johansson at 88. This season has to be the one. The one. We did not get into Europe, but we're expected to be in there. Can Steve Bruce mastermind his way there, as £70 million, that's enough to spend with our team? As hello, old friend. I keep bantering with Lawrence Gabriel. He's actually been a good player for Blackpool. I think he's been there ages. And he can stay on the bench as Max Harrison, a lovely first name he's got, and he's an English regen player. Should grow quickly, and we don't even need a youth player, because on the objectives, it strictly said we needed 2 youth for the Premier League. And we're going for the Champions League now, so Harrison in at right back, and on the bench, Lawrence Gabriel, as we do have players still to sell. First up is Christiansen, leaving for 5 million. And then there's Gabriel, who has stayed in the Premier League. As with income flying bids, this is one that's caught my eye. A bid for Sonny Carey. Now, of course, he's only a bench player and a real-life Blackpool star, but we are going to sell him. As also doing so now moves Rob Apter to the bench, and we can go all out on a very good right midfielder. And well, I've found a man who can play on both wings anyway. Francisco Conceição, right mid, left-footed, and joining Blackpool. Can this be a reality? I mean, he's just had a decent Euros, and you never know in 6 years' time. Who would have predicted the fall-off of Lingard, Dele Alli, and also Blackpool to so nearly win the league? 6 points off City, but we did have the same defeat, so that is very close. Still, Champions League football. And to go alongside it, Finally, our wishes come true with Blackpool winning the FA Cup. Also in the semi-finals, I think you Blackpool fans will really appreciate a 5-1 demolition of Preston. If you didn't know already, Blackpool and Preston are considered rivals as 4th round of the Carabao. We did lose to Aston Villa, but it's a trophy and a good team. Look, we've got our 90 rated. It's our midfielder, Isaac Bergman Johansson. I thought it would be Vasquez, he's still 89 rated, and I'm amazed by our bench. Look how decent that looks. A lot of those players on it are actually OGs of Blackpool. We've got Apter, Krastev, who we bought, then Joseph, but Morgan, and Lawrence Gabriel, the right back, going up. As Vasquez most goals, Johansson 20 assists. How do we actually improve this? And don't answer that. Don't answer that. I know there's a lot better players out there, and I am looking at our cam position. Lindstrom is good, but we could provide more goals. To Vasquez is getting loads, but with 92 shooting. With a good cam and in the Champions League, he has the ability to make Blackpool one of those teams that are famous in Europe. And will be for ages. As 165 million, that is more than enough to go and get a quality playmaker. And one player in the news that didn't get in his Conference League squad is Cole Palmer. Now, I know it's for fixture congestion, but you're going into a European competition without Cole Palmer. I'm going to show Chelsea what they're missing by bringing him on our campaign. He's going to get shown some love here, moving closer to home, back up north, and changing his position over to be a cam and an 89 rated, playing for Steve Bruce. What kind of simulation? I mean, a FIFA simulation, as now with him into the squad, we can sell Krastev, as he sealed a move to Borussia Dortmund. Big for Bulgarian football and big for our bank balance. With him and Harry Darling sold 46 million, and that's only for a backup centre-back with being in the Champions League. And I've gone and found Tanguy Nianzou, who was somehow trapped at 20 for £33 million. He's now on the bench, making it a strong backup 7 to an even stronger 11. I've had loads of bids for Billy Gilmore, with none of them showing at the moment, and of course we can't sell him because he is that Scottish player from our locked challenge. And with his passing range, can he unlock some defences in what is a very tough Champions League crew? That's not the only tough one. Premier League must be tougher. We finished 7th with our God squad. What's happening? Made this big speech about joining Europe's elites and then Leicester finish above us. Also West Ham. I think this point in real life, Steve Bruce would get sacked because the team's so much better. It's lost the Community Shield. It's also lost the FA Cup to West Ham again. And the Carabao Cup in round 3 to Southampton. Miserable, but the UCL group does go our way. We beat Juve and Bayern to top spot. Going through into the round of 16, beating Sporting. Then we beat Madrid, then we beat Villarreal to reach a final against Monaco, which I recently went in real life. You can see just behind me. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm actually wearing the hat of the Monaco badge from the Monaco shop, and this is our team, which is more important than what I've got on my head. Palmer stays at an 89, Vasquez at an 89, but we only needed 190 plus. Johansson is that man, picking up 18 assists and getting a lot of players scoring goals, as we've underperformed in the league, but let's not in this finale. In the orange, and Steve Bruce in charge of this team. I don't believe it. Anyway, why have I still got this hat on? Got to beat Monaco, not dress up like them, as look at that tackle. Gilmore can feed a ball through. He does find Vasquez. Looking for maybe an option, or can he go himself into someone's face? Johansson! Oh my days! Can we tap it in? No, we can't. Early chance going begging, as now Johansson through to Vasquez. If he can roll the defender here, it's into the net! That had no right going in, but Luis Vasquez with a very early goal. Only 0.25 expected. No saving that one though, and our king stands strong. He's been here since season 1 and he scores in the finale. Very nice stuff, but we do look for another one here. Johansson! Oh, so much unneeded power. Still a great start, and oh, good job he didn't connect right there. Monaco with a chance. All my days we're messing around. Don't let them back into it as easy as that. As Gilmour, that is the Scottish player we needed. Our Charlie Adam figure running off the defender. He has got past Conrad Lima, putting it back into the box. A save, and the tap-in is offside. Oh, Vasquez, hold your run. Lino stopping all the fun. That rhymed. And Billy Gilmour is very much a quality player. Just hoping his Scottish teammate and Blackpool Academy graduate Rob Apter can do the same as he enters Old Trafford. As here he is on the ball straight away. Can he do something decent? Accelerates. He's got past a few players. And he's won a free kick, which Vasquez is going to take. I mean, a weird move for a striker. And that is a free kick you expected from a big man. All will be forgiven though if we can just win this game late on. They shouldn't have time to touch the ball. Referee, blow that whistle. Zakaria whacks it forward, and it is a win for Blackpool, Bruce, and a Champions League title. Glorious scenes as it's going to be Bifus, our German centre-back, to lift it up. Of course, we're playing in our home country. Manchester United ground, Old Trafford. Cole Palmer, a Manchester United fan. He's won here. Buzzing for that lad especially. As if you want to see your team or something interesting's happened with your team, comment them down below. And I will get round to them very shortly.